Oakland, California, 1966. Behind the racial upheavals in northern cities is the story of Negroes trapped in urban ghettos. In Oakland, more than 1/3 of the residents are Negro. They came to work in the defense industries around San Francisco Bay. But with the end of World War II, the jobs ended. The people, however, remained, and what began for many as an escape to jobs and freedom has ended in poverty amidst all the symbols of affluence. This documentary moves within the two overlapping worlds of the ghetto, the day-to-day physical reality and the world of dreams and fantasies of escape. It is a story of people caught in a lifelong struggle between their hopes and their abilities, and their discovery that no matter how hard they try, they will be losing just the same.
Cadillac, a home, my own home, and put my mother in while I'm on the road. And I would also come back to West Oakland and let them know that I did make it.
In Harlem, they have tenement houses. They have these big buildings, but the same dirt, the same whores, the same bars, the same pawn shop, whiskey stores, right here on 7th Street. Just the same thing. I grew up on 118th Street. It's 118th Street all over again.
Anything the power structure want, I don't want. Anything they don't want, I want it.
Money. That's what everybody needs, money.
It's hard for them to grow up in the slums because they see so much action going on. I've had more trouble since I've been in West Oakland than I ever had.
Social Study Case S2614, Agnes Johns, recipient under the AFDC program. July 1966. Assessment of areas of functioning. Agnes Johns is the mother of 10 minor children. She is 34 years of age and is separated from her first spouse, who deserted the home in 1960. Since arriving in Oakland from Louisiana, she has had 3 additional offspring. The monthly welfare budget is $392. The oldest child, Robert Lee Johns, is 17 and a half years of age. He stopped attending classes at McClymonds High School toward the end of his 11th year. School authorities doubt that he will re-enroll. He has a juvenile arrest record of 3 arrests dating from 1964. Robert's social personal functioning. Inside the family, he appears to perform adequately. His economic functioning is poor. Unable to find employment, seems to be...
We don't even allow people to talk to us and use the word slum anymore, or ghetto, because we feel that this has been a stigmata. And we say that it is an older section, an older historic section of Oakland.
have carried this name as Slum Street and Slum West Oakland, and we don't have that name as they have all given us as the slum area, because we have nice homes in this area, and we have intelligent people. We have people with middle income, and we don't have all people, as they state, as on welfare.
Rob, you know about from?
No. Give me a cigarette. Give me a cigarette. Give me a cigarette. Give me a cigarette.
Look, I'm thirsty. I need a beer. Will somebody go to the store for me?
Give me a cigarette. Give me a cigarette. Give me a cigarette. Give me some money, Bumpy. Give me a cigarette.
What you do with it? You wouldn't go spend it?
No.
Give me a
Well,
cigarette.
then what need would you have for it?
Nothing.
You gonna put it in the bank?
Give me a cigarette.
I had my pistol in my pocketbook. I know where I had it at. I know no one had my pistol but you. I know you had my pistol.
You try to blame me.
I'll try.
You try. Every time something come up.
I called you and said I already disconnect you and told you to call me back in 5 minutes. And if it's come up,
Well, I woke up. I went in my room to get on the bed. I was laying on top of my bed. So I put it in the drawer.
But if they ever catch you doing something like this, then again, it's gonna be too bad, 'cause there ain't nothing but trouble. Put me on the level, didn't you do it? You did it.
I told you I didn't do it.
How could you find that little sign?
If you look, you'll find it. You didn't look.
You know, it's always staying there all the time. I have it right in my pocket. Day, night, everywhere I go, I keep it there. When I be traveling, you don't know who's gonna bother you. So that's what I have for protection.
Leave it alone. Get up here from me.
Oh, I hate it. Now, you know, I feel like I'm nothing living here. Why do I have to live here? I can't find nowhere else to go. Nobody wants you when you have children, especially many children as I have.
Mom, don't get that
You crazy enough to give it to me.
Change between West Oakland and Louisiana is not very much different, because Louisiana, the only thing you have to say yes sir, no sir back there, but the living is not any different. I'd rather say yes and no sir and live comfortable than to live in the slums and you can say yes and no.
It really disturbs me when I hear my people calling West Oakland ghetto and slums and so on. And I've lived around here for 45 years. And I've traveled quite extensively, but I've never found any slums in West Oakland. The city enforces the law to keep up property, but they didn't bother with West Oakland because they knew that people that used to live in West Oakland had moved out. And they let Oakland run down because they knew someday they were going to come back and take this property and run us out.
We'd like to call the bandstand Curtis Baker, Black Jesus.
I did not name myself Black Jesus. This was did by poor people who that I have helped. I am black. I think I have much pride and dignity. I think I have much self-control. We know we got white bigots, atheists, hypocrites. We got white dogs who have never did anything for us.
Curtis Baker's on the front page again.
with his private poverty program. But we get all of the publicity to individuals who are at the edge where they are threatening something all the time. But solid, constructive work such as is being done by the block leaders rarely gets any publicity.
We can represent black power. We need it. What is black power? Mr. Joe Tinker. This is Mr. Joe, the bartender.
What's black power?
Joe, black power means that black people will lead their own problems. Black people will drive their own cars.
20 words. You still haven't said it.
But Joe, I'm going to answer if you give me time, baby.
How much time do you need to say what black power is?
Well, Joe, black power means that we are tired of the white people driving, getting in the front seat, driving out of a car, and we sit in the back. And when it break down, Joe, then they say we break it down.
You know why you're dangerous? You're dangerous because you're constantly preaching black power, black supremacy.
Well, Joe, I don't know.
Are you going to kill all the whiteys?
Well, Joe, black power means this, Joe. If I have to kill all whiteys, Joe, in order where I can get freedom, Joe, I'm willing to do this, Joe.
No.
That's okay, Johnny. That's okay. Let him go, Johnny.
It's a very, and Joe, let the Richard man talk.
You're so ignorant that this man is exploiting you.
Don't say that out loud because you're the one who...
That's your prerogative.
He's exploiting you.
Well, I have been listening to you too long tonight. That's why I am.
Damn fool. Turn it loose.
Joe.
I'll break up the whole goddamn. Call him.
Take it, Billy.
And you're going.
You go ahead.
Kenny's in trouble. He shoots another to the chest. He's in trouble. Kenny's in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. He's in very much trouble if he don't fight back. Otis shoots one to the short rib. Kenny runs him up against the wall, shoots to the midsection. He was one to the arm, one to the short rib, shooting mighty light. Otis shooting hard to the chest.
It is very painful.
Kenny, one to the jaw, short rib to the jaw. Otis shoot one to the chest. Kenny with two back. To the rib. Otis to the one to the rib. They're back. Middle of the ring. Otis one to the short rib. Back again. Otis shit. They're all tied up. Tied up, ladies and gentlemen. Both boys are tied up. Ooh-wee.
What you gonna do tonight? We need some soap to wash your hands with. Monsieur, what you gonna do tonight when your hair falls over your eyes? By the time I get home.
Don't let it no more.
Oh, where could my little lamb be? Oh, where could he be?
I told him if he want to get to be a nice young man, he have his hair trimmed low, get him a job and buy him some nice clothes. He can go to mostly any kind of employment office and try to find him a job.
Go out and get you a girlfriend.
Oh.
Okay?
When?
If you don't catch a girlfriend, I do it over free for you.
Those.
But he said it makes no difference about your hair. But I think it does make a difference with the people's what's going to hire you. If I heard this on the radio about they wasn't hiring boys with these long hair with the processes on their head.
What you gonna do next?
The back cage.
Oh, the back cage, huh? The cage. Blah.
Gets up in the morning combing, he lay down combing it.
Nowadays, when they, speaking of processing, years ago it was known as concholine. And this was done by lye, strong washing soap and eggs. And it was put on your hair, and it would, what we call, take the kinks out and give you that straight hair appearance. Then we'd slick it down with some heavy grease. And at that time, it was called, I believe it was Murray's hair preparation or something like that. And now as it got refined, they have a better chemical that they put in, and it doesn't leave sores in your hair like it used to do, because years ago it used to come up with big sores if you left it in your hair too long, and all your hair would fall out. But now they have this refined process that they use, and the fellas straighten their hair, and they put on, go under the dryer, they sit on the dryers, and this dries their hair into the waves that the barber has put in there with his finger, what they call finger waving. But you see, most of the kids today, they like this idea of having processing. The reason I stopped processing, it seemed to me, it just came to me overnight. I took pride in race, and I wanted to identify with being a Negro. I didn't want to be something other than what I was really supposed to be. Now they're doing it more to identify with being an entertainer or a hustler. That gives them that appearance of being slick, you know, wise. To have a process now, you more readily identify a man with a process now as a hustler.
Boy, you better try to make something out of yourself before it's too late. But the next day, seemed like the same old dull day, nothing to do.
It's just like my dad used to tell me. He says, if you have dreams and you never realize one of them during your lifetime, then you've lost. You lose out. So you start making false dreams, false plans. One day you're going to be maybe you're going to be a big pimp. See, we never thought that we were going to be a big school teacher or a doctor or a lawyer. We used to think in the lines of hustling. We're going to be a good hustler. We're going to be a good thief.
I see myself as an average, everyday American boy, trying to make it like everybody else, trying to beat somebody out of something, somebody trying to beat me out of something, man. You feel like kind of empty, and you done wasted all your time, all this time, when you could have had you a job, you know, and spending money, coming to school every day, spending useless lunch money, just coming to school, eating, and going back home. Just like going to a big party, a silent party where everybody be's quiet and pretending they're working and everything. I'm gonna get me a car. I'm gonna get me some money, give my mother something.
Well, where you been asleep all day?
All day.
Why you wasn't up? How come you didn't make all men that thing and do their work? It's not awful how the house look, you know.
No, man, I don't want to hear that stuff this evening, Mama.
Well, don't you feel like I get tired? I'm a human being, too. Y'all just gonna have to get up off a little while and help Mama some. Come on, go sit down for me. I've been let down a couple times, and when you get let down 2 or 3 times, you feel out. I'm just afraid. I'm afraid of being let down again. I was let down the first time. Those are looking pretty good. My husband left me stuck with 7 children. I never heard from him again in 7 years. So when he left, I had no job or nothing, no alternative how to make a living for these kids. So I left and came to California and went to the employment office, and they sent me to work. Me and Mr. got good. After we got good, we started living together. And when he got angry with me, he'd move all his stuff out the house and part of mine. And this last time, he didn't leave me nothing in the house. I had to go from scratch. So I've been let down, and I just don't know how to go around getting me someone else. I would like to find a man who's going to be interested in my children and interested in me, too, and help me keep the kids in school. And this is the kind of man I'd want. I dream about the time that I would see my kids walking across the floor graduating, and then they would go to college.
No man is an island. At one time or another, all of us are faced with the question, should I hate my transgressors or forgive them? If we forgive them, we can go on living with them. But if we begin or continue hating them, we cannot live with them and therefore must draw ourselves delete, thus forming an island.
Jerry Lyon. Lily Hayes. Johnny Griffin.
Oh, I wish I could see Robert walking with one of those long robes on and one of those graduation caps. I'd have felt so proud to see him. I would like for Robert to be a lawyer, if possible, and I'd like for Otis to be an electrician. And Ramona, I would like for her to play a piano. And Shirley, I would like for her to be a teacher. And I would say Michael, I would also like for him to be a teacher. And Drew, she wants to be a nurse. They would send me reports on Robert at all times that he didn't come to school, and I went to Mr. Hargraves and I talked with him.
We have several youngsters like Robert in our school. Youngsters who really feel that they want to receive a high school diploma, but who have so many deficiencies, not only academic deficiencies, but a lack of self-discipline, that they really don't know how to go about doing that.
I would show these things to him and recommend that he did go to school because I wanted him to finish, you know. So Robert said there wasn't no need of him going the semester out because he felt like if he would stop and get him a job to do, he'd be prepared to go next section.
You know, I'm sure Robert, like most of the youngsters, want a job. Someone would have to give him a job. If you're going to send him down somewhere to apply, to fill out the application form and to apply and to meet certain criteria, you can forget about it. I think someone needs to give him a job and say, I believe in you, I think you can do this, hold his hand if necessary, watch him, tell him he has to produce on the job and everything else, and I think he'll be on his way. I really feel that with a youngster like Robert, his chances of finishing school under the normal procedure of going to school for 6 periods every day without anything else, I don't think he's going to do it this way.
Is this Robert Johns? Robert, this is Miss Milby from the Youth Employment Service. There's a job open for a young man in the Women's Dress Factory. Do you have a pencil and paper?
Pencil and paper, just a minute. All right, thank you for calling. Hey, Mama. Mama. Mama.
What you want?
Come here.
Oh, who's that on the phone?
Come here. I finally got a job interview.
A job interview?
Yeah.
What's your job for?
It's in a factory.
Did you ask them how much you're paying?
No, that'll all come out in the interview. And they have to pay me enough, just they can't pay me $1 a quarter an hour. I wouldn't go for that.
Now, have you figured out how you're going to get transportation there and back?
Transportation there and back. I'm gonna ride the bus for the interview, but when I make enough money, I'll buy me a car. I have transportation over there and back every day, see.
What do you think about school?
What about school? School's a long time away from me now.
Yeah, but I still want you to keep school in your mind.
Yeah, well, you want me sitting around here in my pajamas all day until school starts?
Well, it don't mean sit around in your pajamas, but I'm not going to stand for you to get a job and not to go back to school.
Yeah, well, school haven't even started. I'll go back to school when school starts. I'm going back to school. I'm not free.
I feel frightened I won't make it sometime.
Watch yourself, buddy. That left coming turn close.
Make nice tinkle in a pitcher of wrinkle. Pour a glass and drink it down. Yum, yum, and drink it down like the other kids in town. It will make your tummy tinkle. Wink, 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 winkle.
Go. My father, he used to change cars almost every 2 months. He had, the best car that he had, it had just came out, it was a Mercury. A 56 Mercury. And it was out of sight. But he traded that in for some other old junk. First we moved from the country to town, then we moved from the town back to the country. We got in the country, and we could run wild if we wanted to, and we go barefooted. None of these people out here, they go barefooted, but it hurt their feet. Oakland looked just like any other place to me that I see in pictures and things. When I was in Louisiana, they used to always say California was rich and everything, you know. Everybody was rich, having a good time, you know, a ball every night. You didn't have to work hard and make good money. I came out here and they was living just like everybody else was. Not no different, no better, no worse. If it don't pay but $1.25, I ain't gonna take it.
Can I help you? What is your name, please?
Robert Johnson.
Would you care to take a seat a moment, please? There's a Mr. Robert Johnson here to see you. Thank you.
How old are you?
17.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yes, I've been arrested. I was picked up for suspicion of battery.
Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't do it, you know, and they let me go.
Uh-huh. So your job will be to sweep the factory after the plant closes at 4:30 in the afternoon. To sweep this area out, to put all the scraps in big boxes and run them down the freight elevator to the alley. Keep the two lavatories here, the men's and women's lavatories, clean. The job pays $1.50 an hour. That's an 8-hour day, $1.50. Okay, well Plan on coming here next Monday at 9 o'clock, and we'll get started. Ever seen a knitting machine?
No, I never seen one. I didn't know it was such thing as a knitting machine.
That's how it's the same way your socks are made. So we'll see you next Monday at 9 o'clock. Bob, here's your paycheck.
Stuff. Let's make it, you know. That's it. Look at it. Just look. Now I'm lost without it, huh?
It cost me more money to send Robert actually to work and to keep me at home. Yeah, I've talked to him a couple of times about this. I told him I was spending more money on that he really was making, you know. And I couldn't see no good that he was doing to help me in the home. So I didn't see no reason why that he shouldn't quit. But he still want to go on and work. Well, he said he was going to try to get part-time and go to school part-time. But for as I see, he'll be losing just the same if he do this.
My mother, she always fussing and fussing. I'd just be glad to get out the house and walk. She just be worried a lot. She don't mean to holler or nothing like that. But it gets me, burns me up. Then when I come in sometimes, she be telling me I've been drinking. I ain't had nothing, and I don't be drinking nothing. I'm messing with no dope and nothing no more. Just think how she got 10 kids and she been doing that ever since for a long time. That's how come I got to make something out of myself. I'm going back to school and make something out of myself so I can take care of her.
I feel lousy. Because whenever I'm going down there, I never have enough money to get what I really would want. My nerves are already bad because I feel like they think I'm trying to steal something, and I never stole anything in my life. And I've often wondered why they feel like us Negroes are go in the store and steal something. They don't do most white people like that. I see them get their clothes in their arms and walk all around in the store and it don't bother them. But when I go in the store, they'll tell me they'll take this until I come to the checkout place to pay for it. Robert. He was Mama's baby. When he was born, I brought him with these overall suits, and I thought it was so cute on a little baby. I used to be looking all right. Oh, God. I went down so much. I used to have hips. Now I went down so bad. Really. They always tell me I could pick up me some extra money. Quite a few go out and pick up them something. I think a woman is lowering herself when she get out on the streets and do a thing like that. I feel like if she have a personal man, maybe she got two. It might be fine. If she's a woman that got children, he knows she needs something. And he feel like he should give her something.
$1.
Some of them like to do it, some of them don't like to work. And in another way, some of them just think it make them look nice to do this. And the reason why I realize people on welfare don't get enough money. And they goes out and what you call turn these little things and get, if they don't get but $5, they feel like they can buy a little food with that or something like that. But I don't feel like that I would put myself in that position. I would want this public for nothing on earth.
Will the meeting please come to order? The secretary will read the minutes of the last meeting, please.
July the 25th, 1966. 18 present. The meeting was held at Mrs. Ballard's home, 1503 Magnolia Street. Meeting open. Minutes read and approved. Mrs. Merriweather reported a riot started on Chestnut Street last Thursday evening. The block leaders reported to the police and a crowd yelling, "Let's have another Watts," were dispersed by members of Oak Center before the police got there.
That's right. Go on.
Change riot to skirmish, disturbance.
Mr. Bell reported undesirable tenants moved on the block. Notified police, retrieved a gun and purse, and gave to police.
Lately, I go to work and make money, and then I don't see where it go or where it was or where it went or nothing. And I quit my girlfriend. I just been snapping at people lately, just mad about that and myself and everything else, you know. And I'm getting tired of not having no money in my pocket, you know. And my brother don't even work, and he have a little money in his pocket. About 6 years from today, you can look back and say I told you the truth, that I was going to be something, make something of myself. Money, that's what everybody needs, money. No, I'm not going home after I leave here.
Wish I could call back to be a little girl. I'd put every day of my life in school. That school was going on. Get me a little job, wouldn't have to look up for nobody. I feel like I just get this running away and just go leave them. Although I know I wouldn't get far. Sometimes I feel like I should go to the bar and just sit there and just drink till I get happy. That's about the only thing I see you do.
All my life I've been living in a fantasy, a dream world, lying to myself. This is the only way you can make it. You can't make it by just normally. I mean, you need something to hold on to.
I dreamed I was a bull or something, like I was trying to get to someone. I was running. I was after someone, and I never could get this person. Seems like we was in a field, an open field, and I'd run them so till he would always put the dodge on me, and I couldn't get to him because he jumped the fence on me, and I couldn't make it. Then I woke up shaking, wondering why did I have to be a bull?
Will you children please turn off the record player? I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep.
planning on going back to school and really making it in a good way, but I was going to be clean when I went. I was going to learn everything I could, read everything I get my hand on. I read now, but enough. I got to find some way to get me some money. I don't like to steal nothing, but if this keep on my mind, I'm going to get me some money some kind of way. And maybe if I get it, I'll be sorry I took it from whoever I took it from, but I'll be glad I got it. I'm not afraid to go to jail. When I make up in my mind to do something, I go do it. No second thoughts about it. I go do it. All I have to do is drink 3 or 4 beers and I'll be able to do it. I don't know. But I know it's going to be something. I know it. I don't think I know. It's a fact. It's a fact.
The secret of a person's strength is identification with, while the most dangerous source of a person's weakness is alienation from life. The game of life is hard and must be played by all, with everyone working together with patience and long-suffering. We are out to win because we are afraid of suffering eternally in the inferno. The opposite team is made up of only 4 players: Defeat the catcher, Fate the fieldman, Destiny the baseman, and Time the pitcher. It is a hard game, and many strike out because they wait too long and are caught unprepared. Many pop out to Fate and don't have a chance.
I tell you what I do. I tear up some of them big stores, and I would maybe loot while you got a chance to get some at those big stores, get it, 'cause they can always replace it, dude. And as far as I'm concerned, San Francisco should have had a riot a long time ago. It's been on the edge for a long time, and people have been looking for this, and in Oakland, the same thing will occur.
The police department called me about 3:30 this morning and told me they had picked up Robert. They told me he was setting fire around Rose department store in Oakland. I think they had this made up before we even got here this morning. Because they don't have no evidence, I don't see why they should hold him up here like that. The boy that's keeping him out of school, they said he wanted him to get an education. Now, how can he get an education up here?
Well, certainly Robert had made every effort to keep himself employed. And while he had dropped out of school for a while, he had re-enrolled in school and was attending classes.
Yes, he was. And really by the police hitting him, I don't feel right over that at all. I really want something to be done. I don't want to suspend him. I want him to pay for what he did to my son.
We're going to register a protest regarding the police brutality. We're going to do everything we can on it. Let's go see Robert.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Robert Lee John's mother.
Just a moment. Just a moment.
And attorney.
I'll have you in a moment.
Robert, very, very concerned about being held over, and I think that we should encourage him to.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to not to cry.
The only thing they holding me on right now is what that witness said, That's the witness word against my word, you know. So I guess they'll take the witness word, you know. I don't see what. I was behind this other boy that was pouring this stuff when I came up the street, you know. They asked me, was he with him? And I just said, yeah. You know, because I thought the three was with him, you know. I didn't know what they might do if I had said no. So I went on down to the back of the cat, and he was pouring the kerosene, you know. And so he told me to run, and he had already pulled on the other side of the street, and he just threw a match, and it struck up, and I was going, you know. And then on the other side of the street, I was wondering which way to go, and this man was coming by in the Cadillac, you know. And I asked him, what was he looking at, you understand? And he lied and said I said something else, something, I don't know. And so the other guy lit the other side of the street, the thing, and I just started running, you know. Then I got on the other street, and I just stopped, you know. I said, I ain't doing nothing, what the hell I'm running for? So as I was walking across the street, this guy in the Cadillac pointed me out to the police. Police got out the car and went to searching me. And he didn't find nothing but some lunch tickets I had in my pockets, you know. He didn't find no matches or nothing. And he put me in the car and smelled my hands, and it wasn't any kerosene smell on it, gasoline smell at all, you know. And so he still took us downtown, and the cop made me stand up, and I pulled the hat over my head, and one cop slapped the hat off my head, you know. I started to hit him, you know, but I was thinking about it later on, you know, when I get in court, what they might say, you know. I was resisting. We got uptown, and the cop told me, he asked me something, I didn't hear whatever he said, and I asked him, I said, huh? And he said, you want me to take him off? And I said, yeah, I want you to take him off. And he came over and hit me in the stomach, you know. Well, then I started to drag off and hit him back, you know. But I was still thinking about resisting, because every time they picked me up, you know, I had fought with the police, you know. This time I thought I'd take it a little, you know, easier. But anyway, this other cop shoved me off in the cell and called me a monkey. And I wanted to get him bad. I tried to push the door open, but he had cracked a little bit, and I tried to push the door open to get at him, but he closed it up, you know. And so they came in, and when they came in, you know, when they hit me in the stomach, they came in and pulled my clothes off me, you know. Then threw an old jumpsuit in there, you know. Well, one cop had his feet in my back. I forgot to mention that. He had his feet in my back when he was taking the handcuffs off, and I was on the floor, you know. And then I put on that old jumpsuit to keep warm, and then I fell down, and then I fell off the bench, and next thing I know, it was morning, and two cops came in there, you know, and asked me for a statement, you know, and I told them what happened. But they didn't want to hear about what the cops had did. They only want to hear about my experience on the streets. They didn't want to hear about what the cops had did up there. So I went over to they took me over to juvenile hall. A nice cop took me over there, and then he booked me in over there. I had a feeling I wasn't coming home. Even quit my job to come back to school, you know. Probably if I hadn't quit my job, I wouldn't have been in no stuff now. But I quit my job and came on back to school, tried to get the diploma. I don't know what they're gonna try to do. The cops will think of something, you know. They'll think of something. I'm not a loser, but the people trying to make it that way uptown, you know. But they can't do it. Not if I don't want them to. They ain't gonna put me in no hole. Not even in this hole.
Oh, you look terrible. Won't even give you a comb to comb your head. You know that's lousy. There's some damn lousy cops, that's all. The new ones I had up there? Yeah. Don't be so mad. Is that what you told me? I ain't mad.
Why you living with that? Why didn't you give me that? Why didn't you give me that?
Follow-up report on welfare case S2614 Agnes Johns, October 1966. Recommendation for monthly budget cut from $392 to $350 due to the detention of one of the children formerly living in the household.
Okay, fellas, line it up, march down to your rooms. Remain there till I let you out. Okay, move out. Pass his points. Right here.
17-year-old Robert Johns is being held by juvenile authorities on a charge of arson. He will be given a hearing and if found guilty, may under the provisions of California law be kept at state facilities until he reaches age 23.
This has been NET Journal, a weekly report on people, issues, and events.